Welcome back to Is a Supercoach. It's going to be a bit of a different video to what I would normally do this time of year. It's definitely more of a research video, like what I do in the pre-season and early on in the season, and that's the stuff I really enjoy for sure. And you're probably wondering why I've got the screen here on a YouTube comment. Now, before you think it, I'm not calling this comment out. I actually fully agree with it, and I love the comment. So Boz here has inspired this video. The comment says, "Mate, love your content and analysis, but for the life of me, I can't see how you're ranked so high. In all honesty, your team is average at best. Most teams are complete. No use having trades left with no cash." I 100% agree. My team looks average at best right now. And yeah, I guess it is interesting that I was ranked so high and still am decently ranked. I think about 1800. So I tried to explain it here in the comment a little bit, but it got me thinking more that I wanted to actually look into it myself and see if there's some numbers behind it, like what went wrong. But I've long held the theory that the season is split into thirds. So basically, the first 8 weeks, you'll get a bunch of players will be really good in the top 10. And then it's usually, I think, mostly different players in that second 8 weeks. And then you get another lot in the third. I've never actually looked into it by the numbers. So this comment made me want to do that. So again, thanks to Boz, because it's absolutely inspired me here. And it somewhat has given me some enthusiasm back. So it's amazing what happens. But yeah, I did some research and we'll have a look at that. So I'll bring it up now. So what we have here is the top 22 defenders for the year based on total points. So this is across the whole season. But what I've done is broken them down into the first third, so round 0 to 8, and then the second third, round 9 to 16. So there's 8 weeks to go. It doesn't split perfectly into thirds. There's kind of a week missing, but yeah, it's more or less, it's what I thought anyway. So on the left here, we've got the round 0 to 8 players. This is how they stacked up on total points for those rounds. I've included the average too. It's not really what we're looking at, but I guess it's kind of interesting to see that I think we get blindsided by average over anything else. And then on the right side, we have the players ranked for the second third for total points, so rounds 9 to 16. And again, it's exactly the same. They're just a different rank. So the ones on the right side in yellow are the players that were top 10 for the first third. So as you can see in the second third here, rounds 9 to 16, we've had 7 new players in the top 10. So only 3 remained, and that's Holmes, Ash, and Parker. So it does add up. The players really do rise and fall a lot, and you can see it here. We've got Sicily, who he's gone from 22nd in the first third all the way up to 7th for total points. Some other big rises: Blakey 14th up to 8th. Euland 17th up to 3rd, and Noble 15th up to 1st. So it's kind of crazy, and it does prove the point that, you know, these players that I started with, they were doing really well in the first 10 weeks. First 8 weeks. And I had quite a few of them here in the top 10 or thereabouts. And they've kind of dropped off, and it's all dependent on what stage you bring them in. It's only about the points they earn after that. So again, I think we get a bit misled by averages. We kind of get hyper focused on that rather than total points. So a player like Bailey Dale here, if you bought him in about round 8 or whatever, you'd be flying. Interestingly though, there's players like Mills who are 18th and 19th in the two thirds here. The top team has Mills, top ranked team. So there's also nothing wrong really with these players that kind of just tick along and play a lot of games. I think that's the main point out of this is the durable players and the ones who just consistently score. Yeah, if you can bring them in or at least start them, they're probably the ones to start, not so much bring them in. But yeah, I think there's a big lesson in this. I think we overlook it, the durability and stuff for average a lot. And it kind of makes me think that there's not really too many players that are must-have. Like Holmes here for sure, but any other player up here has they've risen or fallen. So yeah, it fluctuates a lot. So I'll leave this here. Like you can have a look at this yourself and get what you want out of it. But yeah, the main point is, players definitely perform differently. We're getting different players across these splits. So that's the defenders. We'll have a quick look at the rucks, although the rucks are pretty stable. Not too much movement, but it is interesting here that you've got a player like Cherry. Now, I started him and he absolutely killed it at the start, but he missed those games. So even though he's got this massive average here of 141.8 in the first 8 rounds, he's actually been outscored by Jordan Sweet across those rounds. So if you started Sweet, you've actually done better than anyone that started with Cherry, which is just insane to think in the preseason. I wrote Sweet off myself. And I know a lot of people wrote off Cherry and Gawn and guys like that, but yeah, Sweet was a bad miss. So again, he's just been consistent. I think he's played every game. He's had a decent score. It just accumulates, okay, and that's how we get our ranks. So yeah, if you started him, well done, absolutely well done. There's not too much fluctuation though here with the rucks. I mean, there's pretty much 4 that we've all been looking at. So Grundy, Jackson, Gawn, Cherry. But yeah, Gawn's still the king. Obviously, Jackson's the miss that I have. Should have got him, but what can you do? So yeah, not too many surprises here. I think the midfield was fairly stable as well. So as you can see here in the yellow, you got 5 of the top 10 for the first third remaining in the second third. Butters, Bont, Dacos, LDU, and Oliver. So LDU and Oliver have been great picks for anyone that had them. But yeah, Butters, I mean, yeah, he's a freak. The one there was a couple here that are interesting, I think. Anderson in the first 8 weeks, he was ranked 20th out of these players, and he's been first from rounds 9 to 16. So that's the epitome of a fallen primo that we should have got on. I mean, I did, but I think I got him on him probably a week later than what would have been the optimal time, but still, it's been good. It's also Dawson. He's come from 22nd all the way up to 3rd. And then there's an interesting one in here who I did not expect to see whatsoever, and that's Garcia from St Kilda. So ranked 19th here and then 21st. So again, to be up, I mean, top 22, it's not amazing, I guess, for total points, but it's pretty high. You wouldn't expect to see a player like him up there. And again, it's just been because he's been durable and he's played a lot. So he actually probably would have been a decent starting pick. As for my team, you can see here that some of my mids have dropped. So Merritt was killing it, and then he's gone down to 12th. Who else? Callahan's kind of just stayed where he was. In fact, he's kind of dropped. He's gone from 13th down to 14th. But he's just been around that consistent 100, low hundreds, whatever. So, yeah, again, you can kind of see why my team was doing well and why it's dropped off. It's just timing, and probably see it most with the forwards, which we're about to look at. If you bought some of them in at the wrong time, which I did, I mean, it was based off of good info, but yeah, it's going to wreck you. So we'll look at that now. So players like Tuke Miller, who was 5th across the first 8, has dropped down to 15th. So not good. Petrarca, who was 7th, down to 11th. Both who I own, unfortunately. Pickett down from 2nd to 14th. So, pretty big fluctuations going on here. And I expected it in the forward line. I expected big fluctuations. What I didn't expect was for so many of the top 10 to remain across both thirds. So you got 4 here that did it. Sheasel, Horne-Francis, Tracy, and Bailey. I'm spewing I didn't get Horne-Francis because he actually has been good. I've just been waiting for that inevitable injury or role change, but it hasn't really come. So, he's one to look at for next year now. I probably could get him still this year, but I don't know. I think the forward line, there's a group of them that are so close in score. I think you can get a cheaper guy that's just going to go close to matching him. He can't surely keep doing this 110 average for the whole year. But I guess that's why I'm in this problem, because I doubted him before. There's some really unexpected players in here as well. I'm not going to go through them. I'll leave it. Obviously, you can just pause the video and go through it yourself. But yeah, you can definitely see here that I'm not imagining it. There is definitely that theory is true, that you get the players that do really well and then they fall away. So it's all about, I guess, trying to pick those that are super consistent and durable. I think we know that when you think about it, but we kind of do get sidetracked by ceiling scores and looking at averages and things like that, when really the durability should come into it a lot more, I think. There's other things you can't predict, like, so Miller here, as I said, he was 5th for those first 8 rounds. So that's why I bought him in, and he's been nothing but shit for me. I think I've had him for 3 or 4 weeks, and it's just been no good scores whatsoever. Same as Petrarca. So there you go. That's why. So a lot of teams, I think, because I've been following the rankings, especially close to the top, and especially when I was ranked higher, the teams that were killing it in the first 8 rounds, they've also dropped a fair bit, and it's been these new teams that have come up, and I don't think you'll see them stay there. It's going to be a new bunch of teams over the next 8 weeks are going to come from nowhere, and yeah, it's their players that are going to fire. So yeah, hopefully he's got something out of this. I certainly did. I don't even know if I'm explaining it properly, but I know what I mean. Yeah. I mean, the stuff is here for you to look at, so you can draw your own conclusions from it. It's not really my style to preach on this channel. I kind of just present what I find and have a chat about it. So again, thanks to Boz for inspiring this. Absolute legend. As for trades this week, I'll do a trade video probably tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, because as far as I know, Cherry's meant to be playing this week. So if he wasn't, I was probably going to trade him out and split that money and move a few things around, set me up for next week. But I don't know if I can do it now if Cherry's playing. Doesn't seem smart, but we'll see. I'll work it out tonight or something and wait for those Sunday teams to come out before I make my final calls. So yeah, hopefully you got something out of this, and I guess I'll see you in the trade video tomorrow. Cheers.